So these baby monitor prices are out of control and it's actually kind of crazy. Like when I became a mom for the first time, I fell into that trap of thinking I really need that $300 camera. But honest to God, you do not need that, okay? You can use any regular security camera, any camera that'll pretty much get the job done for you. You do not have to spend a fortune. You do not have to spend $200 to $300 on a camera that essentially does the same thing as other cameras that you can use. I mean, all you need is a good quality picture. Maybe you want to be able to talk back to baby, so look into something that you can do that. But like this camera, I started using this and honestly, this was only $20. And the favorite and something I really like about this is that it can move all the way around 360 degrees. Do you know how many times I've used this camera, which can't do that, and I've needed to go back into the room. I left it like this and I needed to adjust it because the baby was out of position. I had moved the crib a little bit and it's just a pain in the butt to have to go back in, and hopefully they don't see me or hear me, but for my own anxiety and peace of mind, I need to be able to see them on the camera or the monitor. This is great because honestly, for 20 bucks, it does the same thing. I can talk to them, vice versa. You can honestly, I've used the Casa camera, which was like $20 or $30. And then I've used the Wyze camera, the one that was all over TikTok shop as well. I mean, I know it's marketed as like an outdoor security camera or whatever, but it doesn't matter. You can throw it into the room and use it the same way. And I was looking at some of these crazy baby monitors online for like $300, and I feel like it's just such a marketing scheme, honestly, towards, you know, parents. It does the same thing. It's a camera and you can talk to them. But like, other than that, you're spending $150 extra when you don't need to be, unless, you know, that's what you want and, you know, you have the money to spend for it. But I'm here to tell you, you do not need to fall into the trap that I fell into. I know it was designed and marketed and it looks cute and it'll go over the crib and this and that, but I'm telling you, you can find a way to like put a shelf, put this on, arrange the room however, and save yourself a lot of money. Because a lot of these cameras too, they go bad after like in my opinion, a lot of these security indoor cameras go bad after like 2 years. So, you know, there's this camera online, okay, saying, I guess, I don't know, I think they have a lawsuit going. It was the, not the Nanette Miku, the Miku baby monitor, saying it can monitor your respirations without you wearing anything, which I call BS on. I'm a nurse, and even in the hospital, when we have you hooked up to an EKG machine, when we have you up to all the medical grade equipment, sometimes there are still errors in your respirations because of the way maybe you're breathing, you're positioned at night. So I honestly, if a hospital grade equipment will sometimes incorrectly read and it is on you and it's supposed to be monitoring your respirations, how can a camera that doesn't have anything hooked up to you honestly monitor that? Like, I don't buy it. If, you know, just for safety reasons, like at that point, you're better off manually counting the respirations of the child yourself, like in my opinion. Because I don't know, maybe they're breathing shallow. What if something happens? What if they're breathing shallow? What if, I don't know. I just don't trust a camera that can detect respirations itself. Like if hospital grade equipment sometimes that's hooked up to you reads incorrectly, I would not trust something to scan the room or looking for the rising and falling of a chest. I just think there's too much liability in that. But honestly, that's just my opinion. I have no experience with that camera or whatnot, but yeah, very interesting. I mean, if you're that concerned and anxious about monitoring their breathing and respirations, what I used in the past is the Owlet and the DreamSock. I never used the camera, I just used the DreamSock. And honestly, the DreamSock, it surprised me, but in a pleasant and good way. So my son had RSV. He was satting in like the 80s when he went to the ER, blah, 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 about the DreamSock afterwards so I could sleep and make sure he was okay. And it actually notified me on, sometimes there were some flukes, that's going to happen. But it notified me a few times when he vomited and like put his face in it or something, like there was a change in altitude and he was adjusting. It did correctly let me know, and I felt a lot safer that the Owlet DreamSock notified me in those situations. So, and when I hooked it up to my oxygen sensor at home, like the same one they use in the pediatrician office, it was the same. The correlation of the oxygen was the same on the Owlet DreamSock as it was on the medical grade equipment. And to me, that's the only thing I can trust. So hopefully this saves you guys some money, but you really, I feel like it's all in the marketing. I kind of feel like it's a scheme. That's my opinion, but you know, you don't really need a fancy camera. I get it if you want to have like the video, like the monitors where you have the video and you can take it around with you. But I've used those too, and they can get a little spotty just depending on the Wi-Fi. So, I mean, yeah, just inform you, you don't need to spend $200-300 on a camera to be able to monitor your baby.